Hey number ones, thank you so much for stopping by. So lately I've been making a lot of research because I'm preparing a video about the classical world, and of course archaeology plays a very important part. So I've been reading loads of books written by archaeologists, and I've been watching a lot of documentaries. In these documentaries they're actually interviewing the archaeologists. But here's the thing, I've got a lot of admirations for archaeology, so don't get this video wrong. I respect field archaeology, to go there, get it done, get their hands dirty. However, I think in the last 6 days I must have heard the sentence, "It must be ceremonial," so many times that if I have to hear that sentence once more, I'm gonna go into ceremonial overdose. Look, we found a bronze helmet that has a little bit of a strange shape. It must be ceremonial. Look, we found a big sword. I mean, we found a bronze Greek sword. I don't understand why they made this change. It must be ceremonial. Look, we found a helmet. It's made of gold. It's really cool, but it must be ceremonial. 16th century Scotland, we found this big sword. It's particularly big though. What do you think? Well, it probably was used for, it's ceremonial. Fantastic. We found a Japanese sword. But look, it's a bit longer than the usual. And look, it's a bit more curved. It must be ceremonial. And it's a very strange mask. Look, it's very decorated. Where did you find it? The Battle of Teutoburg? It must be ceremonial. Look, it's a strange object. What is it? I don't know, but it must be ceremonial. Stop! How about you just say, we don't know. We have no possible evidence to understand if this was actually used in war, or if it wasn't. We have no idea why this specific individual decided that it was very important to own a golden plated helmet. We don't know. Like, the adjective ceremonial has just become the cool way to say we have no idea. It's the Italian blood diluted pizza, I can't control it. Let me give an example. So, we are in 2019, right? Let's say that there is a catastrophic event. A catastrophic event that actually global proportion destroys everything, destroys my home, it becomes just a huge amount of rubble. Internet is gone, all the data is lost, there is nothing. Now let's fast forward to year 4019, and we've got these very sympathetic and nice archaeologists. So they've been wandering around looking for a place, and they choose, hey, this location looks good, let's dig here, and they find my home. What are the odds? So they're digging into my home, and then finally they find this absolutely useless and purposeless object. So here they are, they're starting to think, I'm not sure, I mean, we found some evidence, pictorial evidence of the time, and we believe it's some form of armor, but we don't really think it was used for warfare now, was it? It wasn't used for cooking, it wasn't used for traveling.
It must be ceremonial.
And there I am, in the common image of all these people from 4019 watching their whatever it is, and they imagine me holding this high above the ground like this with some really epic music, and in the meantime all my friends around me going like this, ooh, ooh, and I go like this, ooh, yes, gods of the ancient worlds, please bless me with good rain this year, this is why I had this No, dear archaeologists from 4019, Metatron here, I like blue. And I also happen to like shiny/glittery things. Thus, I decided to buy this absolutely purposeless object because I like putting it on my nightstand so that when I wake up in the morning, I have a look at it, I think, oh, that's really pretty, and I get on with my day. No rituals involved. Look, we found a rare artifact. It's a physical book about StarCraft 2. We really don't understand why this man in 2019 decided to buy such an obsolete piece of equipment. At the end of the day, studies tell us that at that age, internet was available. They even had it on their phones. Can't even find it. You can find it on PDF, you can buy a digital copy, much better, it doesn't deteriorate. Why would he buy this? It must be ceremonial. I offer this. Yes, I offer this to you. Please accept it so that the freaking Terrans stop fighting, because it drives me nuts. Now, you know very well that there is a huge differentiation from a cultural point of view of all the nations around the world, and yet it doesn't matter if it was a ancient African king, if it was, I don't know, a Portuguese seafarer, if it was a medieval knight, if it was a samurai, if it was a Chinese. Doesn't matter. Here's an object, they don't know what it's used for, it must be ceremonial. Everyone is there with their little object doing this for whatever reason. And I say, no. How about the guy we mentioned before, the one who got the gold-plated helmet, which is actually one of the first historical helmets I ever found. Very interesting, I mentioned it on my actual video. What about he was just a successful chief, you know, chieftain, tribal society, and he thought, you know, I got a lot of money. I like this object, I'm just gonna buy it. I feel quite sure to say that in thousands of years of human civilization, there is one thing we haven't changed much. We like buying stuff and we like showing off, which is the reason why, I would imagine, prehistorical people decided to start bashing their neighbors in the head, and their reaction was to invent a helmet. But we like buying things just because we like them. We don't need to have a mystical purpose. It doesn't matter if you're from 10,000 years ago, it doesn't matter if you are from 2 years ago. We always like stuff that, if we are doing well with our lives, you know, I'm not rich, but I've got shelter on my head, I've got food on my table, so the little extra I have occasionally, I like this, I looked it up, it was like 50 bucks, I'm like, yeah, you know what, I kinda like it, it reminds me of when I was younger, I like the armor, and I bought it for no other reason, if not the idea, I want to have a nice object. Now, for the golden helmet guy, there may be another myriad of reasons. Maybe, you know, he just wanted to show off. He puts on the helmet, shows to other people how successful of a man he is, particularly to the girls. So he's like, hey girl, you see my golden helmet? The other guy over there who's taller than me doesn't have it. So, you know, you come to my place, you live with me, you marry me, and you will have food, and you will have cows, and you will have whatever you want. But that guy, look, he's got just rawhide cap. What is he gonna provide for you? Maybe that was the reason. Do I know? No. Do I need to say then it must have been ceremonial? You see, archaeology is very specific and very precise. I mean, when you look for answers, you need the archaeological evidence, you need to look at the literary evidence and sources, and sometimes you also need to pair it up and match it with sculptural evidence to understand if this specific object, the shield and helmet and piece of armor, actually looked the way it's represented. Is it just art? Is it just style? Was it actually used? Was this mass-produced? Was this made this way? Or is it just a regional variation? I understand archaeology can be complicated, so not always can you actually say this object was absolutely used for this specific reason, but other times you can, and that's that. But I don't know what it is, I don't know who started this, but someone said, I found a piece of helmet, I have no idea why such a person would spend such amount of money to have this made, I don't think it's practical, I don't think it's functional.
It must be ceremonial.
And sometimes they even say it of actually functional stuff. Like, as I was saying, there is this mask that was found in the where the Battle of Teutoburg happened, and they're like, it's a bit too decorated, I think it's ceremonial. Listen, mate, it's a nice object. It probably belonged to a centurion who was doing fairly well, until he decided to go to friggin' Germany. Mate, you really screwed up with that one. But he was doing well with himself, so he saw a mask probably for someone else, and he thought, hey, I want a mask like that, mate, can you make that for me? And mate said,
yeah, how about we add a little bit of decoration?
he's like, how much is that gonna cost?
It's gonna set you back this much.
He's like, well, no problem, I just had a very good booty, so yes, make it for me because I like it. It doesn't have to be ceremonial. If I hear the word ceremonial once more, where is my pasta?